Hello, aloha, konnichiwa, como estas, turubim, hola, what it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Even if you don't love everything that I do, you can still help me out. You can still support a brother, help a brother out. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. I will help you. So please feel free to help me out as well. What we're going to talk about now is the Lakers and Wolves. And I just finished watching that game, and what a game did we have here. And I got to tell you, again, I've been saying this on all my videos. These have been some very good playoffs and even some extremely entertaining first round matchups. There's also been some that I don't care about at all, mainly in the East. But there are some that have just been magnificent. And one of them is this Lakers and Wolves. And it looks like, again, the Wolves have stunned the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, overall, LeBron James has been putting on a show. If you look at the box score, you say to yourself, well, yeah, LeBron's cooking. Which is true and also not true. Because for the second straight game, LeBron James was not able to bring the game home. He did not play well in the fourth quarter of the game before this that the Wolves managed to win, where the Lakers did not score in, I believe, the final 4 minutes and 39 seconds. And he also did not score at all, I believe, in this game in the fourth quarter, even though he had 27 points going into the fourth quarter. Now, Luka Doncic finished with 38 points. Austin Reeves finished with 17. Luka really didn't have that many assists. He only had 2 assists. Bron had 8 assists and 12 boards, by the way. Almost had a triple-double. Rui had 23. And that was really it for the Lakers. Finney Smith had 6, but he was 2 for 6 from the field. The Lakers didn't play anybody. Quote, let me quote that again. They didn't play anybody off the bench down the stretch. All their starters just played. They didn't play any people off the bench in the second half, I believe, which is crazy. And they look like it at the end of the game. They look like it at the end of the last game before this, and they look like it at the end of this game. There was just nobody with any energy left to close out these games. And so that's what happened. They lost. And again, they did not close out what seemingly seemed like they had it. They gave up a lead and they lost at the end. Julius Randle was balling. Well, field goal percentage wise, not so much, but he continued to put the pressure on. He was 9 for 22 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 7 boards, 3 assists, 25 points in total. But he was really good on defense. He was putting the pressure on. He did what he had to do. McDaniels has been balling, chipped in 16 points and 11 rebounds. Rudy Gobert still is not playing well. He's playing like garbage offensively. Defensively, though, Rudy Gobert has held his own. They stopped trying to attack him through all these switches because he's been holding his own. Even on the switches, he's held his own. He even stripped Luka Doncic and had a crazy strip in the game prior to this one. DiVincenzo chipped in 8, Naz Reid chipped in 12, and Nickeil Alexander chipped in 5 off the bench. But the real story here was Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was a monster. He was guarding LeBron at times, making him work. He was making Luka work. He was making everybody work, and he was still giving people work. 43 points, 14 for 17 from the free throw line, 5 for 10 from the three-point, 12 for 23 from the field goal overall. Also had 9 boards and 6 assists, and this was just a masterclass. Just an absolute masterclass from Anthony Edwards from top to finish. The boy was balling. And Luka on the other end was also doing that, but Anthony Edwards, this was his game. He wanted this game, and he got it. And unlike the Clippers, he decided that we're going to start getting ready to put this team away. And they walked away with the victory. So they now have a 3-1 lead going back to Los Angeles. And a lot of people were saying Lakers in 5. But that clearly can't happen no more. And it's looking like the Timberwolves are going to try to close this out in Lakertown. So, it's really interesting to watch how these series unfold. It's been a really good series. And the Lakers just keep running out of juice. They're relying too heavily on their starters. To me, it looks like J.J. Redick, everybody talks about how great of a coach he is. Well, You got to find a way to get other players involved so that you don't have to rely so much on your starters. That's part of being a great coach, right? It's part of being a great coach. Everybody talks about, oh, Phil Jackson had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman, and Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol and this guy and that guy and all these guys. Yeah, well, he had to learn how to get the best out of the other players as well. Because you don't want to run Kobe into the ground. You don't want to run Shaq into the ground. You don't want to run Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen into the ground. That's part of being a great coach. And it looks like right now, JJ is getting outcoached. He doesn't know how to get anything going outside of, their plan was to attack Rudy Gobert, and that has not worked. And so now it looks like the Lakers are struggling. And they're in the games, but they're not closing them. And so we got to go back to LeBron James here, right? LeBron James had Anthony Davis, who was a top 10 player on the squad. Couldn't close it out against the Nuggets. Kept losing to the Nuggets. Everybody blamed AD, right? But each of those games, realistically, the Lakers were there. All LeBron had to do was reach out and close a few of them. Or get the ball to Anthony Davis in a way so he could close it out. Because AD, he could have closed it out. But what has AD been asking for on the Lakers? Get me a big man. Get me a big man. Get me another big man. When they had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard with AD, unbeatable. Nuggets couldn't beat him. Now, Joker wasn't as good as we seem to be now, but I tend to believe that if you still had Dwight Howard, and if you still had JaVale McGee, then AD might have been able to close some of those out. But you didn't want that, LeBron. You didn't want that. He probably wanted more open lanes. Then they tried to get Russ and threw that all off, and it just didn't work. And then so now he pulled a snake move, got Luka Doncic. Luka's a top 3 player, top 5 player. Luka's balling, but at the end of the day, they still losing. What is the common denominator here? The common denominator is LeBron James not being able to close games. And he's always had this problem. When you look at the box score, you think, oh man, nobody's ever been better than LeBron James. But when you watch the games, you realize he's not closing. He wasn't closing against the Nuggets. He's not closing right now against the Timberwolves. He's not closing. So what does it take to close? What does that entail? You tell me, guys. You tell me. I know what it takes. I'm a Laker fan. And you know what that comes with? That comes with me watching Kobe Bryant for 20 years close people out, win healthy. When he was on top of his game, when he was in his prime, there was nobody better. And he closed games. I seen Kobe Bryant close games where he was 0 for 15 and then made the last 4 baskets for us to win the game, including a reckless shot that maybe he shouldn't have shot, but he shot it anyway because he was the baddest dude on the planet. And I know some of you are going to be upset that I keep bringing this up, but again, you put LeBron James on my team, and I got to watch this guy play all the time. I'm going to compare him to the best I've seen on the Lakers. That's Kobe. Kobe closed. If Kobe was healthy, you didn't want to see him in the fourth quarter. Nobody wanted to see him. With LeBron, all you ever hear in the media, he's going to activate playoff mode. He's going to, when you have LeBron, I don't bet against LeBron. I bet against LeBron all the time. And you know what? If I was a betting man, like really betting, I don't really bet, but I'm just saying in general, I bet against him. And, when I talk to my friends or, I'm doing this, I'm usually right. This guy is not the winner that y'all make him out to be. I'm sorry, he's just not. And he's proven it in this series. And if you're going to tell me he's 40 years old, whoop-de-doo, retire then. You can't say, oh, he's 40, look at how good he is. Literally in the middle of these broadcasts, they'd be like, oh, what a 40-year-old killing it like this. You can't believe it. And then when they lose, he's 40. Pick a struggle, man. Pick a struggle. My goodness. I tend to believe that if you're playing and you're healthy, nobody cares about how old you are. And y'all were telling me he was the best player in the league and all this stuff. He was a top player. Fine. You can have all that. Now, I'm going to give him the criticism that top players deserve. LeBron's got to close these games. It's just like, it's that simple. Now, you could say Luka has to close them too. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But it looks worse that Luka went to the finals last year with Kyrie Irving, and now he about to get beat in the first round with LeBron James if they don't pull off another miracle on ice like they did in 2016, or he did in 2016. So, I mean, these games have been good, and they've been close, and the Lakers had a chance to pretty much win, a lot of these games. They had a chance, and they just haven't pulled it off. So, at the end of the day, the Lakers got to do some soul searching, and LeBron's got to figure out how to close games, or they're going to be home, sitting on the couch, watching everybody else be successful. And that just is what it is, But good game overall. Enjoyed the game. There's a lot of back and forth. And we'll look forward to the next one. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I love to debate basketball, so please comment. I'll definitely respond to you. And on top of that, don't click off immediately following this video, because there's some other suggested videos that I know you will love, and you should definitely take a look at. So appreciate your time. I'm much humble. Much humble. That sounds crazy. I'm very humble. Much love.
Can tell that somehow you never get over leaving me, and when you feel like